What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Live Game, episode 88. This is the Irish Man's Perspective on Football. I'm your co-host Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey, hey, hey.
Next up, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening. Yep.
Ooh, jam.
Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They're coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody
Coming to see you, Otis. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching us on YouTube. You can catch us in our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're also on Twitter at The Live Game 3. And we're also on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. Before we get started, I want to send out prayers and condolences to Professor Jay of Post. He's supposed to join us tonight, but he had a loss in the family, so we are sending all in prayers and condolences from us to him. Take care, Professor Jay. So week one in the books is done. We have some great games. We had some surprise victories. We also had some serious blowouts that we just didn't see coming. Marcus hosting tonight. Go ahead and start us off, Mark.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the introduction, Marcus. I appreciate that. We're gonna talk about some hot topics in the NFL news, also NFL the news, and also the final thoughts. We can finish up with that. Also, we're gonna talk about last week's predictions, and also talk about the upcoming week 2 prediction of a couple of games. So first off, we're gonna start off with the news of the week. And Marcus, I'm gonna throw this back at you. I'll let you lead this one off. Go ahead.
So the Washington football team lost Ryan Fitzpatrick for 6 to 8 weeks due to a hip injury. The Washington team will turn to Taylor Heineke to lead the Washington football team to the playoffs and Super Bowl victory this year. I called it last.
Herman.
Hold on,
Herman.
I called. Did I not call this last week? Did I not say?
You said it, Marcus. You said it. You said it.
Game 2. Did I not say it? Part of my outrageous prediction.
You mentioned something about Heineke being in there. You did.
And I even said game 2. Game 2.
Yeah, it was just the rest of your prediction that's ridiculous.
Whatever. MVP right there.
And Herman, tell Marcus he needs to read it.
Read what's in the parentheses.
I'm not reading that nonsense. I'm not reading that nonsense.
Oh man!
All right, thank you for that, Marcus. The next news of the NFL we want to talk about. Herman's going to present it with us. Go ahead, Herman.
Yeah. So in more injury news, Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. And if you guys saw the play, it's really interesting because he was tackled. The way he was tackled was reminiscent of how Dak was tackled last year when he broke his ankle and was out for the season. Fortunately for Jeudy, he didn't suffer that same fate. It looked really bad, but after X-rays and everything came back, they said looks like it's just a high ankle sprain, and he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. So, hopefully he gets better soon because he's on a lot of my fantasy teams.
Yeah, high ankle sprains are the worst.
Yeah, they are.
Herman, can you decipher what your son is saying here?
He said it at the bottom.
Oh, okay. No, that's me asking. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, we're not even mentioning. Yeah, that was breaking news that happened today. It's not part of the rundown.
But Herman, it is part of the NFL news.
Yeah,
but it's not part of the rundown, so it's not going to be talked about.
We can improvise.
No, we're not improvising.
I don't see anybody's name or subject on there. So.
Exactly.
I can take it. I can take it.
Y'all are terrible.
You can take it, but you don't even know all the facts.
I know he's hurt. He's out. Broke his foot.
For how long?
Don't know.
He's out till like November.
Damn, how long?
DeMarcus Lawrence broke his foot in practice. Are you happy?
D-Law.
Yeah, you didn't even know who that was. Who?
I didn't.
This guy.
Right.
Darian, man, as soon as you graduate, man, we need a new producer.
Whatever. We can't do what I do.
Host.
All right. The next news we got is going to be delivered by Mr. Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
All right. So Mike Vrabel called out star receiver Julio Jones during his press conference after the 38-13 loss to the Cardinals. Down 10.
That was a whooping.
Down 10-0 on a 3rd and 1. Jones was flagged for a penalty, which made it 3rd and 15. The Titans did not convert, and the rest is history.
Is that right? What? That's a 14-yard penalty?
What was the penalty? It depends on what the penalty was and what happened in the play.
Yeah, it was like he was like, I guess like they were like tussling with the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he was a little too aggressive, but to call out your star receiver, that you just signed, only him.
He's not the
And
star
you can't.
receiver.
Well, he's the big signing that they did this season, off season.
I agree.
So, and to call only him out, when he's brand new, I think
he's a veteran though. And was it a personal foul?
Yeah, it probably was.
Then yeah.
But that's not. I still don't think that's something you do at a press conference. I think that's something you do in house. I don't think
He was frustrated, but let's be real. That wasn't even. They still wouldn't win a game.
Thank you. That's my point too. It's not like that was the reason why they lost.
But Vrabel comes from that Belichick thing. So no one person is above the team.
How about he's also the defensive specialist? How about not about your team not let your defense let them get 38 points?
I don't have a problem with it because Julio Jones is too much of a vet to fall into that trap. He should know better. So I have no problem with it.
Host. Is he frozen?
Jam. Yep.
He is frozen.
Jam.
Now I see why we call him Teddy Riley.
So we're gonna move on to the next topic in the news.
And he's gone.
I'll read this one
story.
The next story.
Yeah.
I'll read this one
okay.
since
I'll say the next topic. I'm sorry.
Yeah. 8 members of the New Orleans Saints tested positive for COVID-19. 6 coaches, 1 nutritionist, and 1 player. Was the player in addition to Michael Thomas, or was the
it was Michael Thomas? It was Michael Thomas.
So it really doesn't count because he's on the pup list anyway. So
right.
They mostly staff members. This COVID thing is something we're gonna be dealing with and seeing a whole lot all season long. It just is what it is. You better have some depth on your team, and now it looks like you better have some depth on your coaching staff.
That's going to be crazy if a lot of those coaches don't come back. Those are positional coaches and stuff. So,
so will we start having? Is it possible to have forfeited games because they had no?
Yeah.
Well, that's about players, though. I mean, if you feel like you got enough, if the head coach can go out there and coach up the whole team without the position coaches, they're gonna do it. They're not gonna forfeit a game.
Jam.
And Mark is back, y'all.
Well, all we did was read the last story, Mark, so we can start with the games or whatever you want to do next.
Hot topics is next.
Yeah, hot topics next.
That's the order of
I was talking to Mark.
All right, we're gonna get into the hot topics. Was the Green Bay being blown out by the Saints the result of off-season drama with Aaron Rodgers? For y'all who don't know, Aaron Rodgers was basically threatened to sit out the whole entire season this year unless the GM was let go. Well, somehow he came back to the team and also played in the first week of an NFL game. But do you think that this is a result of that whole off-season drama? Marcus, I'll let you start this off.
It's hard not to say it isn't. I mean, for you to be the reigning MVP, for you to be the conference championship last year, and then your first game back, you put up a stinker like that. I mean, that's crazy to me. And as a quarterback, you're the leader, and then like his coach's response after the game was, we snuck it up, we were bad, we were embarrassing, and he was like, "Oh, it's just one game, it is what it is. We got 16 more," which both things are true, but I don't know. I just don't feel like you can come back and say that after a terrible game like that against a team who I will admit is probably better than I thought they were. But still, you're the reigning. You were in the NFC Championship game last night. You're the better quarterback on the team. You're a better quarterback out of 2 starting quarterbacks there. It just maybe you should have spent more time, less time on Jeopardy and and more time focusing on football. It seems like he made a statement this offseason saying he doesn't really need football, and that's the way he played. He doesn't need football, and football doesn't need him. That's the way he played on Sunday. I just don't feel like you can, after all that, you can come back and then put up that big of a stinker. I mean, that game wasn't even close at all. Wasn't competitive at all. It's just, even if the offseason drama didn't play into it, it's just not a good look. And people are going to put it on the offseason drama anyway. So that's my take.
Herman, what you think?
I mean, obviously, he was probably a little rusty. I mean, he didn't have any type of offseason training. But I'm gonna go with the Aaron Rodgers thing and tell everybody to what do you tell him? Relax, calm down.
Just relax.
He did that before, didn't he? He did that years ago too, didn't he?
Yeah. Just relax. Okay, just relax. You're not gonna see this. I mean, you gotta look at it like this too. Green Bay didn't have a lot of film on what the Saints were gonna do with Jameis Winston as their quarterback. And then you get the Saints when they get into these situations where their backs are kind of against the wall. They're dealing with the hurricane that came through. They've been displaced from home, for weeks now or whatever. And they play with this tenacity when these types of things happen. They came out, they hit Green Bay in the mouth, and that's that. Everybody just relax. Green Bay is going to be okay. But yeah, it probably had a little bit to do with him not having a training camp. I mean, it is what it is. If he wasn't doing he probably wasn't doing any type of training. Not even on his
own. Brian, what you think?
Absolutely. Without question, that showed that Aaron Rodgers, just like every other NFL player, needs training camp, needs practice, needs timing, needs to be adjusted. This is the worst you've ever seen Aaron Rodgers ever play. And this is the first year that he didn't hit training camp. And he did say that he was practicing. Am I frozen?
No.
He did say that he was practicing on his own. He was trying to prepare for the season. But, there's always this old saying that all players say this. When you start thinking about retirement, that you already got one foot out the door. So I think this is showing that.
Good point.
That he was not focused on this season as he should have been, as the reigning NFL thing. He needs to cut that hair. He needs to shave that beard. He needs to look at Aaron Rodgers that's 30-some years old, not this man that look like he's a panhandler, trying to get some more liquor. So it absolutely played a part. They will be okay eventually. Yeah. They'll be okay eventually, but I do think that it's going to take a few games because I think this is now their preseason, because, of course, he didn't play in the preseason either.
Well, I got 2 rebuttals to that, Brian. Number one is Ben Roethlisberger been talking about he was going to be retired for years too. He's still looking decent. And also,
did you not see his arm at the end of the season last year?
Yeah,
go ahead.
He looked decent. Also, Dak didn't get any preseason games either this year, but he looked damn good in that game against the Bucs. So
yeah, but the difference is both of those players were preparing to play for the season. Like you said, they weren't on Jeopardy. They weren't on vacation. They were preparing to play this year.
And they were in training camp.
Yeah.
But they both were in training camp.
Rodgers was in training camp.
Dak did well.
Yeah, but he got there late. And
but he didn't play.
He was there day one.
No. He missed the first part of it, the voluntary part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was there day one.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
I mean, I agree with what you all are saying about it. He definitely needed preseason to kind of get himself into the line. What are you doing? Okay.
Me? What? What are you talking about?
Brian.
What?
Oh, good Lord. Really? But yeah, we agree with you too, Mark. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that was a great point, Mark. But yeah, and in the long run, I mean, again, we all know the Packers are going to be the Packers. And you know what else too is that everybody's talking about Aaron Rodgers' performance, but nobody's talking about that defensive performance.
I was getting ready to say.
That defense should not get off the hook for the way they performed either.
But let's get more into that when we review.
Yeah, it was off the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark. No audio there, buddy. Cannot hear
Say
you.
something, Mark. Nope, no audio. No audio, sir.
All right. So next Wednesday, Mark will be over here with me.
Okay. Well, I'll be over there trying to see why his connection is dropping. Okay. You might want to go out and come back in, Mark.
Or plug your headphones maybe and plug them back in.
Yeah, we'll start the next topic. So, what was the most surprising win of week 1 and why? Cardinals, Saints, or the Steelers? Brian, you want to start this?
I do, but my choice is none of those.
Both.
Give us your choice.
My most surprising win was the Bengals over the Vikings.
That wasn't surprising.
That was very surprising to me. You know that the Bengals had a 14-point lead at one point in that particular game. And they had like a very balanced offense. Like Joe Burrow, we're not reviewing this game. So he was 20 for 27 for 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Mixon, he ran 29 times for 127 yards and a touchdown. So not only were they balanced, but they just kept that Minnesota defense off kilter the whole time. And I was very surprised about that. I thought that the Vikings are going to be a better team this year than what they showed. And they did do well offensively, but defensively, they still got work.
Yeah, for me, the surprise, it wasn't that I guess it was that they won because I didn't pick them to win, but it was the Cardinals. And I knew it was going to be a competitive game, but the way that they won, that was an eye-opener. I was really shocked because I expected Tennessee to be way better than that. They were my division winners. I picked them for my division winners for one. Kyler Murray, if the Cardinals start playing like this, I think, who was it, Marcus? You predicted that all 4 teams from that division will go to the playoffs?
Yep.
It'll happen probably because, I mean, we already know Seattle's going to be good. We already know the Rams and the 49ers are going to be good. I mean, if the Cardinals stand up and play like that every week, it's going to be a problem going up against the NFC West for real, the whole division.
Yeah, because all those teams won, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
It's funny. All the NFC West won, and all the AFC West won.
Yep. Yep, that's crazy. But yeah, that one for me was the most surprising win. And like I said, it wasn't necessarily the win; it was the way that they won.
So, Mark, when you left, I told him that my most surprising one was the
Bengals and
Bengals. Thank you, Bengals over the Vikings.
Yeah, that was surprising too. I thought the Cardinals win was the biggest one. The way that they shut down Derrick Henry was incredible, and then Kyler Murray just went off. He was Mighty Mouse was on full blast, man. He put the NFL on notice. I thought their win was more impressive, surprisingly too. I thought they were do well, but I didn't think he would be doing that good. So yeah, and you know what, Tannehill didn't look like himself at all. He was overthrowing players. He was underthrowing him. He just didn't look comfortable back there. It didn't hurt that Chandler Jones went in a mission.
Yeah, Didn't he win Defensive Player of the Week?
He had to.
He had to.
5 sacks.
Yeah, he won Defensive Player of the Week.
Hey, tell me, he didn't benefit from having JJ there. Tell me that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So,
yeah.
I didn't even think about that, Mark. That's a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a surprising win for me.
Marcus,
did it?
I'm gonna have to go ahead and say the Cardinals because if you saw my my picks before the season, I still am very high on the Titans, like very, very high. I had them number 2 over the Chiefs for positions in the playoffs, and for them to come out there and do that, you know, for the Cardinals to shut down Derrick Henry like he did, for Tannehill to play like he played, and let me see what his stats was. He wasn't very good. Well, he was 21, 35, 212 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and just.
Sorry.
So, you know, and I've been saying that, you know, since Tannehill's been with the Titans, he's been one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And it's for them to go set a performance like that, and then I was really surprised at the Cardinals. Like I did predict for the Cardinals to win to go to the playoffs, but I didn't. You know, if they can hold that same energy and fire all season,
they will be key.
Yeah, they will be a force to be reckoned with. I definitely didn't expect that. And I'll tell you, you know, I watch a lot of college football, so I'm very familiar with Kyler Murray, and I'm very familiar with Cliff Kingsbury. and what?
Dairy.
You know that dude hater.
I think it was proven this weekend too in fantasy.
Wasn't proven just yet. Wasn't proven just yet. Pump your brakes.
Oh damn.
So you know, I'm very. I mean, if you know anything about college football, a lot of the quarterbacks that came from the type of system that Kyler Murray played in, and that Cliff Kingsbury coached in college, called the Air Raid. Years ago, they weren't considered to be good quarterbacks to be drafted in the NFL, and they didn't do good in the NFL. But at least 3 of those Air Raid quarterbacks started on Sunday, which would be Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. So it's just refreshing to see that, you know, that type of and it's different. It's also weird to see how the NFL has changed. That those type of quarterbacks and that type of system is now successful in the NFL. So just that whole thing is surprising. Just the way the Cardinals pull that off, because I damn sure didn't pick them to win against the Titans. But you know, much like Aaron Rodgers said, as far as Titans go, just one game. I still think the Titans are going to be very dominant. I still think they're going to win that division. But yeah, that was definitely the biggest one for me.
All right. So moving on to
last.
Herman, you really need to go in there and fix this dude internet.
Keeping in mind that it's only week 1.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's true.
You gonna lead us off next topic, Mark?
So, we're gonna get into the games of
let's get into
the week. The first game was a Thursday night game to kick off. We had the Dallas Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. They played down in Tampa. You had the reigning Super Bowl champions taking on the Cowboys. This game was victorious by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 29-31. Just going over some of the stats in the game. Tom Brady was 32 for 50 for 379 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Leonard Fournette, 9 rushes for 32 yards. Antonio Brown, 5 receptions for 121 yards and 1 touchdown. You had Chris Godwin going for 9 receptions, 105 yards and 1 touchdown. Gronk, 8 catches, 90 yards for 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans is kind of the quiet one there. He was only 3 receptions for 24 yards, but he wasn't. I think he was targeted a few more times other than that.
Yeah, he got shut down. Whoever that quarterback was.
Trayvon Diggs,
Trayvon Diggs shut him down.
Yeah, he did. The Cowboys stats, we got Dak going 42 for 58 for 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ezekiel Elliott, 11 carries for 33 yards, no touchdowns. Amari Cooper, 13 receptions for 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches for 104 yards, 1 touchdown. Did I leave anybody out there? Nope. That's it. So this was the very, very high scoring. As Marcus said, he thought it was going to be a high scoring game, but a lot of passing yards between these two. I'm gonna start this one out. I chose the Bucks. They were victorious. I don't think the Cowboys have anything to not.
It's probably best that Mark, when he comes back, that he goes first.
Yeah, he was going first.
Well, I mean, he did tell him that who he picked, so he did get that part, and he just didn't get to finish up.
Marcus, who'd you pick?
I picked the Bucks, but like I said, I was very surprised. Well, actually, I guess I wasn't very surprised. I did call it a high scoring game. It wasn't as high as I said it was, but it was actually closer than I thought it was. It was only a 2-point game. Mm-hmm. So I said 48-45, 3-point game. It's Tom Brady. He did what he does, and I have to admit it. I think I'm about to say what Mark was about to say. The Cowboys and Cowboy fans shouldn't hold their head down. I mean, Cowboys, they stayed in the game. They played this game. I think we can say for certain that Dak is back. And he had a huge yards. How many? 3 touchdowns. And you can't claim, like last year, a lot of people was claiming it was garbage yards, garbage points. These weren't garbage yards, garbage points. They was in the game the whole time, and it was just a hell of a game. And the only thing I would like to see more of is I just felt like they should have ran the ball more. The Cowboys did. I mean, I don't know why they just didn't run the ball more. It just seemed like what's the OC's name?
No, the thing was
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. But the Bucks they're the number 1 run defense, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll just go ahead. I picked the Bucks. I knew the Cowboys were going to be in this game. I really thought they were going to win. But what we wound up doing was we turned the short pass game into our run game. That's basically what you do against that. I mean, that's defense. True. You just can't run on it. Mm-hmm. You just can't run on it. And we actually did call more run plays, but Dak checked out of them due to the look and what he saw. So Dak is on his game. He knew what he was doing. So there wasn't all called pass plays, but that's what you got to do against a defense like that. So,
and I think we can safely say that if Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady wasn't in the league, Dak would be a top 5 quarterback. I think those are the only 2 people keeping him out of the top 5 because there's not enough room. This is only 5, and there's not enough room for 5. But he would definitely be a top 5.
2.
Well, the other 3: Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen.
I'm gonna be Eli's 2, so Dak gotta miss out.
But I'm saying because they're the old ones. As soon as they're gone, Dak's last right on.
But really, and we could have a whole conversation about this. But is Lamar really that much better than Dak?
He's a top 5 quarterback. I ain't say he's better. He's a top 5. I think most people would take. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Exactly.
In my mind, yes, he is above that.
So if you had a 2-minute drill going, you got the ball on your own 5-yard line. Who you taking to take that drive, Dak or Lamar?
You down by how much?
You're down by you gotta score a touchdown. So you're down by 5.
4 or more.
Yeah.
I'm taking Dak.
Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm saying is. I'm not saying Lamar's not a top 5, but all I'm saying is Lamar that much better than Dak? Running, yes. Let's passing stats.
Actually, they might be pretty sick because I was going to say let's go by games won, but they might be close if you take out the playoff games. Lamar hasn't won that.
Lamar's probably won more games than Dak, most likely, because he's on a better team. He's got a better defense, but yeah, let's not hover on this one too much longer because we could go all night for real. That's it right there. If Lamar didn't run a 4.2, would you take him over Dak? No, I wouldn't take him over Dak anyway. Honestly, in this situation, 5 games over 200 yards passing, yeah.
But his wins. I mean, you gotta look at the wins too.
Yeah, I mean,
but Dak has always had. Lamar's always had a better defense as well.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
have a better
that is true.
team than the Cowboys.
Yeah, they do have a better overall team.
Okay, well, he's in top 6. How about that? he's
How
there.
how about he's top 5 and him and Lamar can be tied for 5th?
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
How about he's better than all of them?
Yeah,
Eventually, Brian, eventually, that's what the conversation will eventually be. Maybe not Patrick.
He's definitely better than Aaron Rodgers right now after week 1. So you can throw him
I'm
on
gonna
out.
say we only talk about one game now.
Yeah, but we talking a little bit, you know. Dang, Darian is on the stats, boy.
Dak, he led the
what's our
league in
producer?
wins, 16 and 19.
Yeah, he must.
Oh, so wait, what's that mean? You gotta explain that one,
Dak
Dak.
won 19 and Lamar
won
Lamar's
16?
16. No, Dak
No,
won
that
like
can't be
13
right.
games
They
his first
played-
season.
they played 4 years.
I think he's trying to say when
So
Lamar.
so Dak
Lamar,
got
remember,
Dak
started
got
before
19,
Lamar.
and Lamar.
No, you got-
Dak's
They've been in the
got
league
way
a
more
long-
than 19 wins. Yeah.
No.
Both of them got way more than 19.
I think he means in the same time frame.
Oh, in the same time frame?
Wow.
You might explain that one.
Darren
Brian.
can explain that one.
Yeah.
But
Let's-
while y'all
yeah.
explain,
Because both of them got way more wins than that.
Brian, who'd you pick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
let's-
I agree with you guys. I picked the Bucks. But that Cowboys-Bucks game was the highest rated and most watched season opener since 2016. So congrats to both teams on that. It was an offensive onslaught with the Bucks putting up 431 total yards and the Cowboys 451 total yards. Dallas actually held time of possession with 34.27 seconds. But it wasn't enough because they left damn Tom Brady 1.22 seconds. And that old man worked his magic to beat the team and get in the winning field goal range. But I did pick the Bucks, but I was happy with the way the Cowboys played.
Also, I forgot to say one thing. Also, them defenses was garbage. Like the Tampa Bay defense. Why are you gonna keep blitzing? They was not no pressure on Dak. All that blitzing for what? And they was that was just walking up and down the field. That's what was my most surprise in that game. Was Tampa
The
Bay.
biggest thing was Dak was reading it and he was changing the protections and he was getting to the hot receiver.
But it was
I think
actually
just kept on blitzing.
But it was actually the pass defenses. Both pass defenses were bad. Their run defenses on both teams were actually good because
I mean, you can't really say that they were good Tampa Bay because we didn't really try.
Well, Tampa held Dallas to 3.3 average, and Dallas held Tampa to 3.7 average. And we actually had more attempts than Tampa did. So both teams actually both teams actually their run defenses were really good. But let's move on to the next game, y'all, because we want to
jogging. It's a half hour.
Yeah. So next game was we're gonna review was the Steelers at the Bills. I'll start this one off because this one was I'll give you guys some stats too. So Ben Roethlisberger was 18 of 32 for 188 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked twice. Josh Allen, MVP candidate Josh Allen, was 30 for 51, 270 yards, and 1 touchdown. Najee Harris, the rookie running back, 16 carries, 45 yards. That average, 2.8, was not a good average. Rushing leader for the Bills was Devin Singletary, 11 carries, 72 yards, 6.5 average. That was much better. Leading receiver for the Steelers was Juju Smith-Schuster, 4 catches, 52 yards, no touchdowns. Leading receiver for the Bills was Stephon Diggs, 9 receptions, 69 yards, no touchdowns. It's a pretty interesting game. I'll go with my pick. I picked the Bills, and I got this one wrong. I was on that. I'm on the wagon right now with the MVP candidate Josh Allen and everything. So he was disappointing. He disappointed me this week. I didn't expect to see the Bills come out and play pretty stagnant game. It seemed like. Josh Allen threw for 51 attempts. That's a lot, and considering Singletary, he carried for 72 yards. So I don't know. The Bills they got a tough one coming up this week, but they need to bounce back. But I picked the Bills, and I got this one wrong. Brian, who did you pick?
Yeah, we were all on the Bills Mafia bandwagon. And I mean, Buffalo, like you said, they put up 371 total yards, but they only scored 16 points. Yeah. They had a fumble by Josh Allen, and they had a blocked punt, which were key plays to the Steelers' victory. And like you said, Herman, Najee Harris, he was okay for his debut. He ran 16 times for 45 yards, and he caught one ball for 4 yards. But, I don't know. I mean, you don't really even think about the Bills in their running game anymore. I was surprised Singletary had that many rushing yards.
Mhm.
They just weren't balanced. I mean, our MVP is a great quarterback, but 51 times is much against that vaunted Steelers defense. TJ Watt, he had like 2 sacks and a forced fumble in that game, and that's because you're backing up too much. You're playing right in their hands. So I picked this one wrong.
Marcus, who'd you pick?
You should ask Mark because he's back.
Well, I was going to let him go last since it's his team.
Yeah, but what if he ain't there?
Then we'll have to hear his mouth.
I'm here now.
Okay. Go ahead, Mark. He picked this one wrong too, though, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, we all did.
I'll go last. Go ahead. I'll go last.
Yeah, so I picked, once again, I was all about the Bills Mafia. And it wasn't any, any shade to the Steelers. I just thought that the Bills were a better team in this instance. But, like Brian said, 51 pass attempts. Why do you need to pass that many times and you're leading going into the fourth quarter? You're 10-6 going into the fourth quarter. Why are you not rushing more? Why do you need to feel the need to pass 51 times? I understand you got this great MVP caliber quarterback, but come on, man. I mean, just run it. And Singletary, he had 11 carries for 72 yards. He was averaging 6.5. Why not run some more?
Yeah.
And it's just confusing to me. But it's the Steelers. The Steelers, until they prove otherwise, are still the cream of the crop in the AFC North. And I guess I'm not surprised that they pulled this win out. Steelers always find a way to do it. Like Mike Thomas saying, game. That game gets no style points. It was an ugly game. They find a way to win games, and let's just hope this isn't the start of an 11-game win streak. Then they start going downhill again like it did last season. But good job for the Steelers. They pulled it out. Everybody wants to count Big Ben out. Everybody wants to count the Steelers out, but obviously it's not over yet. It's not over yet because I didn't expect them to win this game. So I picked the Bills and I picked wrong.
All right. Can I go now?
Yeah, it's your turn, sir.
You're the host, so you can do what you want.
Hey, on this one, I went against my boys. I wasn't feeling as confident in winning this game, but this one took an all-around team effort for the Steelers. They won on the special teams, defense, and finally put some offense on the board. To me, the unsung hero in this particular game is Chris, the kicker. He basically kept this team in the game second half for making two 22-yard field goal, another 30-something yard field goal. Chris Boswell was the kicker I'm referring to, but he helped keep this team in it for that time. Buffalo, I just think Josh Allen, that early in the game, a couple of passes was dropped. He missed a couple of. He had a couple of long passes to Diggs that he just missed on, that he had a chance to capitalize on. But that Steelers defense finally came alive. The $1 million man, JT Watt, came up and made a play.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, you know which Watt I'm talking about. It's one of them Watt brothers. He made the defensive play, and it sparked everything from that point. But the Steelers still got a lot of work to do. They couldn't run the ball the first half at all. They need some work. But I went against my boys. I took the Bills, but I'm happy that I was wrong this time. All right, we moving on to the next game.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next game we had on tap was the Cleveland Browns taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me a second. I get the stats together for you. This was another good game, barn burner game. It kind of reminds you a lot of how they played last year.
Mm-hmm.
On this one, the stats for we'll start off with Cleveland. Baker Mayfield was 21 for 28, 321 yards, 1 interception, 0 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, 15 carries, 83 yards for 2 touchdowns. As far as receiving, they had David Njoku, three catches, 76 yards, no touchdowns. Jarvis Landry, 5 catches, 71 yards, 0 touchdowns in there also. As far as Kansas City was concerned, sorry.
You want me to give them to you?
Yeah, go ahead, give me Kansas City.
So Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes was 27 to 36, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. Leading rusher was Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 14 carries for 43 yards. Leading receiver was the one and only Tyreek Hill, 11 catches, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. Travis Kelce had 6 catches, 76 yards.
Did Kelsey have a couple touchdowns too, Herman?
Kelce had, yeah, he
2
did.
touchdowns.
He had 2 touchdowns. Sorry.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
On this one, I'm gonna go first on this one. I chose the Chiefs. Do I need to say more? But they had to fight back to get in this game, man. It took that turnover and it turned everything around for them. One of the crazy plays in this game was when the safety for Cleveland Browns actually got ejected for actually he was stepping on his opponent's Norwegian section, and then one of the coaches for the Kansas City said something to him, and he basically went off and shoved him, so he got kicked out for that one. But I took the Kansas City Chiefs in this one, and I was right on this one.
You know that coach that got shoved was it's actually an ex-Philadelphia Eagles player. He used to play for Andy Reid.
Who was that? Who was that?
I forget his name. He was a wide receiver.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a wide receiver.
That's right. Brian, who did you take?
So I picked the Chiefs in this one. I picked it right, man. But the Browns gave the Chiefs everything they could handle, man. They racked up 457 total yards, and Baker Mayfield threw for 321. But in the end, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they took the lead late in the game, allowing the Baker and his team to drive for a winning game. But the Browns are the Browns, and Baker threw a terrible pick and he doused their dreams at the end. But they played well. I mean, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and I think that the Ravens and the Steelers need to be a little nervous.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. Herman, who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs in this one, but like everybody said, the Browns gave the Chiefs everything they could handle. But I think the difference was, the Chiefs just didn't come in sleeping. They knew what they had faced in the playoff game, and they know that Cleveland had improved that defense. Looking at the stats, Cleveland's going to probably rely on their run game, a lot, with Baker throwing for 321 yards and no touchdowns. That's an odd stat when you look at it. But then you look at how they got all their touchdowns. It was in the run game. Chubb had 2, Kareem Hunt had 1, and Jarvis Landry had 1. So whatever it takes to get it done. But the thing is they come up against this Chiefs team again, and as as well as Baker Mayfield played, 21-28, 320-something yards and 1 pick. It's good, but he's got to put some touchdowns on the board to keep up with these Chiefs. I mean,
just real quick, they had to adjust too because Odell was a late scratch.
Yeah,
he was like a game time scratch.
Yeah,
in that game.
right.
But remember, they did a lot of what they did last year without
True,
Odell.
without him. True.
So,
all right, Marcus, who'd you have in this game?
I mean, of course, I picked the Chiefs. Like everyone just said, I thought this was a great game. This was almost as good as the Bucs Dallas game. To me, it felt very similar. We had 2 teams that were going up against what's considered arguably the 2 best teams in the NFL, and they took it down to the wire. Yeah. I feel if you're a Browns fan, like I said, but a Cowboys fan, you got a lot to look forward to. I mean, they say there's no more victories and losses in NFL football, but I don't know what you call that, but I wouldn't be too sad. I mean, after all, with the Chiefs, my only issue is with Baker Mayfield. is that he doesn't seem to play good when they're not in the lead, much like Lamar. He should have been able to once he got behind. He should a true like when Patrick Mahomes took the field, and I admit even this game I was down a little bit, but I wasn't doubting him, but I was just doubting their defense because it seemed like Cleveland just walking up and down the field anytime they wanted. But anytime Patrick Mahomes jumps on the field, you're like, oh, yeah, they
you feel confident.
Yeah, you feel
confident.
He can score. Like, he can score. And if you think about the playoffs from 2 years ago when we won the Super Bowl, they were down by double digits in every playoff game, and they came back.
Wasn't the stat that said that they were down? The Kansas City Chiefs was down the same score as they did Cleveland in that playoff game. That the same points.
It might have been. I'm not sure.
But go ahead.
That's what what's Cleveland's coach name? Kevin Stefanski.
Stefanski.
Yeah. He has to get Baker to that level because, like I said, it seems it's starting to become a pattern. They don't do if they're in the lead, he's good, but the minute they get behind, he messes up. He throws interceptions and stuff like that. That's going to be the difference between a great quarterback like Mahomes and Brady and the rest of them and him if he doesn't overcome that hurdle. He should have been able to because he was left with enough time on the clock. He should have been able to come down there and score enough touchdown and beat the Chiefs because I feel like the Browns did everything they need to do to beat the Chiefs, but it just didn't pan out, and that's the only thing. Baker has to become a comeback quarterback. You can't just be in the lead and cruise all the time because that's not gonna happen every time. I mean, like I just said, you don't even worry about it no more when the Chiefs get down by double digits. Like, they got time.
They'll be back.
They'll be back.
And did you notice too how the defense stepped up when they got the lead? All of a sudden, Baker was getting sacked, and it was just a team off at the end once they got the lead.
And that's just a great cover blanket to know. Okay, we got time. We ain't worried about it. He'll do what he does. Mahomes do it. He'll bring us back. And for the Cleveland to become an elite team like that, that's what they got to be able to do is to come back from behind and they're doing those games. But I picked the Chiefs and I was right.
All right. Moving on to the next game, we had the.
We might need to speed this up a little bit, fellas.
Yeah,
Mr. Long Wind.
We had the Green Bay Packers. See, I wasn't here half the show, so you can't blame it on me. The Green Bay Packers took on the New Orleans Saints. Neither one of these teams had home field advantage. It was down in Jacksonville, Florida. We had stats wise, we had the New Orleans Jameis Winston 14 for 20 for 140 yards, 5 touchdowns. Can you imagine that? 5 touchdowns. Taysom Hill was 1 for 1 for 3 yards. Alvin Kamara 20 carries, 83 yards, no touchdown. One thing I'll point out though, Jameis Winston hit 8 different targets in this game. He was spreading the ball around. Leading man there was is that the Devontae? Who's that? Harris?
Devontae? No, that's for the Eagles.
No, that ain't Devontae. He was two receptions, 72 yards and 1 touchdown. He caught Deontay. I'm sorry, it's real small. I can barely see the O and the E.
Deontay.
Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers was a terrible 15 for 28, 133 yards, 2 interceptions. He actually got benched in this game towards the end, my love. Not very much else to talk about as far as receptions. Adams were only 5 receptions for 56 yards. He pretty much got shut down this game. This one, Herman, who did you have in this one?
Well, I got this one wrong. I picked the Packers. I mean, I didn't have a lot of confidence in the Saints, and I guess they must have heard me because they wanted me to know that they don't care what I think.
No, it wasn't the Saints. You ain't had no faith in Jameis.
That too. I really don't have no faith in Jameis. I mean, but you know what? I'm glad it's only one game though. So I'm gonna relax, but I'm glad to see him succeeding. It's crazy though. He was only 14 to 20, 148 yards, and he threw 5 touchdowns. Like that's
Right.
wild, man. That's
Right.
wild.
Oh, 5.
Right. But
That means the defense was doing a lot.
Yeah. Congratulations to James. I hope he keeps this up because I don't want to see him throw all them picks again. But hey, it's only one game, so let's see what happens.
Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
You know, I also picked the Packers. I damn sure wasn't expecting that big old blowout. But you know, much like Herman said, you know, congratulations to Jameis. I'm glad to see he did that much. And like I said, it's just one game, but I bet this proves my point that all those picks and he threw in Tampa that last season was because of the offense. It was the Bruce Arians offense. So you know, we'll see. It's just one game, but we'll see. I bet you I'll be proven
I don't
right.
know about all those picks, but some of those.
Well, the
picks,
majority-
some
some of
bad
them.
decisions on Jameis.
A lot of those picks was bad.
Yeah,
decisions.
you remember
James,
Herman
I mean,
that year we would be on the chat.
Yeah, we would right. We would
He was just
dissect
throwing
the joke.
a terrible pick for no particular reason. So
I have to agree with Herman and Marcus on this one. I took the Green Bay on this one. I thought Aaron Rodgers would be back to his normal MVP season self. He wasn't. He was a dud. I was just impressed with how the Saints just pretty much shut this. I mean, they shut it down. They closed this door. They closed the door on this game early. All right, they did not give this man a chance to do nothing. That front seven was after him the whole game, and he was making poor decisions, and it was obvious. The Saints rolled with this one. I mean, they rolled. Winston in his debut, he did pretty good. He didn't turn the ball over. That was the biggest thing too. That was another big part of his newfound life is not being able to turn the ball off more than he throws touchdowns. So this time he's 5 up on an interception, but the Saints did it on him, and I chose the Packers, so I was wrong. Now this particular gentleman here has this cap on. Is it what we call this, the professor's cap, or what we call it? The
Smart cap.
Yes.
the smart cap.
Genius cap. The
Okay,
genius.
we'll call it the genius cap.
All right, that's all you get.
Thank you. Hey, look, I was just thinking that, Marcus. You on point. We here, I tell you. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the professor as I speak. No, but seriously, you know, the funniest thing about this game is that I was listening to Sports Talk, and they was like, if you looked online in most fantasy sites, Marcus Mariota had more fantasy points on one run play than Aaron Rodgers had that whole game.
Golly.
That dude had a 36.8 QB rating. And man, it's no wonder that the Saints and possible new MVP, Jameis Winston,
Oh Lord.
won that game. Yeah, we on the Winston train this year.
Ain't never getting on that train. Ever.
You get ran over by that train.
And it feels good to wear the hat on our inaugural season.
All right, so Mark, for these next two, no commentary. We just want to go through what we.
Yeah, we need to roll through.
That's fine. The Bears and the Rams. Who did you have on this one, Mark?
Rams.
Rams. Herman.
Rams.
Same here, Rams. Brian.
I had the Rams.
Yeah, I was disappointed when the Bears showed up to play. The last game.
Put your hat on, Mark.
Yeah, he
The
gets
Monday night game.
Let him give
Hold
the
on.
commentary on that one.
Hey,
Hey,
look, while
you-
Mark's putting his hat on real quick, the debut of Matthew Stafford and the Rams, Stafford had the highest passer rating in NFL history for a player debuting with the new team. 156.1.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
That's a problem.
Stafford wasn't the problem in Detroit.
No.
No.
He was not the problem.
Detroit was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their problem was when they let what was that one coach go?
What you call it? Caldwell, right?
Yeah, Caldwell.
Mhm.
Yeah, because Caldwell
True.
had him going in the right
That is-
direction, and then they let him.
That's so true.
Fired that
I mean,
dude.
but Stafford was there long before Carr.
Yeah, I'm just saying. At one point, he finally had a decent coach that was headed in the right direction, and
Okay, Mark, you take that long
fired him
with
after he lost a playoff game.
I dropped my tassel.
Yeah, you was supposed. This was
No,
like pregame.
good.
Okay, let's
No,
just
I
go
got
because
it.
he's
I
not
got
ready.
it. Okay, I'm ready. In this particular game, we had the Ravens taking on the Los Angeles,
No, the
Las
Las
the
Vegas
Las Vegas
Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah,
That's why
moved-
all the fans that used to be there
He
used to
moved
be
the
there.
Raiders twice.
27-33 in overtime. In this particular game, Lamar Jackson was 19 for 30, 235 yards, 1 touchdown. He rushed 12 times, 86 yards. Tyson Williams rushed 9 times for 65 yards. Latavius Murray, 10 carries for 28 yards, 1 touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 4 catches, 96 yards. That was probably the bright spot of that offense. As far as the Raiders are concerned, Derek Carr, 34 for 56 for 435 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Josh Jacobs, 10 rushes, 34 yards, 2 touchdowns. Darren Waller, 10 receptions, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. That boy could not be stopped. This one, I'll let you start it off. Brian, who did you have in this one?
In this one, I picked this one wrong. I did pick the Ravens. It was a good win by the Raiders, but the Ravens had multiple chances to win this game, and they just let it go. But Derek Carr looked good, 435 yards and 2 touchdowns in that 1 pick, and nobody was on the Ravens defense was able to stop Waller. Pull it down, Mark.
Herman?
Yeah, I had the Ravens on this one
There you
too.
go.
Definitely a surprise win. I don't know what this win really means for the Raiders, but congratulations to them. It was definitely a good win for them.
Marcus?
I also picked the Raiders. The Ravens. Disappointing loss for them. Good win for the Raiders. They need a new offensive coordinator in Baltimore. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
Yep.
They need a new OC in Baltimore.
And as you can see, yours truly, I'm wearing a hat also. Brian, you done rubbed off on me. Everybody thought I was silly for taking the Raiders in this. I just had a feeling that they were going to be fired up to play in their new stadium, Vegas. It almost didn't go that way. Lamar did his best, his magical tricks to pull it off to try to win this game, but he fumbled like one too many times. I thought the biggest adjustment for me in this game was when it came to crucial downs on stopping the Raiders pass rush. They had some inexperienced running backs trying to block, and between the offensive line being hurt and him, I think it pretty much done him in as far as keeping the pressure off Lamar. But Lamar has to do a better job of hanging on to the ball. I think the last fumble came because he was trying to switch it up while he was running. So, hey, he's got to do a better job with controlling the ball. But I was right. Raiders was victorious. So I get to wear the cap.
Okay, now that's
Right.
unfair because I didn't get the second.
I was gonna say that was kind of messed up.
I feel a little favoritism here.
I didn't get the second part.
All right, so we're gonna move on quickly to the picks for next week. We've got the games lined up for next week. The first Thursday night game, we got the New York Giants taking on the Washington football teams. In this one, Brian, who'd you got in this game?
Vegas is the WFT are giving up 3. I guess because it's a home game. So give me the WFT.
Herman, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the WTF team also.
Disrespectful.
Oh, I did say that wrong, didn't I?
Yeah, you said it wrong.
Look, especially with blocks like this. How are you blocking your own guy? I don't understand. I don't understand. And you let Von Miller go crush your quarterback.
That is the funniest thing ever.
That is. Hey, on this one too, I'm gonna take the Washington team. Another question I got about this game is it a must-win game for the Giants more so than the Washington teams?
No,
I think it is.
Must win for.
I think it's a
must win for Washington.
I think it is kind of for both. I mean, both would be.
Nobody wants to go down
0-2.
Yeah,
but if Washington, that's 2 home games they would lose. So
yeah,
I think it would hurt them more.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm taking Washington in this one. Marcus, who you got?
Of course, I'm gonna take my team, the Washington football team, and only because of this picture right here. Something going on when you blocking your own man and let the
what is that dude Young is coming around the end like that?
And that's what's the Broncos?
That's Von Miller. That's Von Miller.
And he got a clean shot, and you blocking your own dude. And then plus their quarterback, I forget his name. He's a turnover machine.
Yeah, he's got little hands.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones.
They call him Danny Dimes. Yeah. So hopefully our defense makes a comeback this game and looks like a defense they're supposed to like, instead of letting a team like the Chargers walk up and down the field on them. But I'm taking the Washington football team.
Got a good offense now. Easy.
Yeah,
we're supposed to have a good defense too. Come on,
you
man.
are, but I mean,
they couldn't stop them at all. They basically Chargers basically doing.
No, they turned them over in the red zone.
Yeah,
they had a chance to win that game. But your running back fumbled, gave the ball right back to him.
Still, man, defense. If you're supposed to be that highly vaulted defense like that, you're supposed to be able to do something. That basically,
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised tomorrow night.
Yeah, but only because of the Giants.
Yeah.
Look, Marcus, take it any way you can, okay?
I will take it.
All right. Next game we got on top is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins. You got the line on this one, Brian?
Buffalo's giving up 2.5, and they are the visitor.
I think I'm gonna choose this one first. I think the Dolphins gave up too much big plays to Mac Jones. Josh Allen gets back on track this game. I'm taking the Bills in this one. Marcus, who you got?
100% agree with you, Mark. Josh Allen gets back on track with this game. I'm taking the Bills.
Herman?
I'm going with the Dolphins in this game.
This dude.
Now, I'm high on the Dolphins too. I fell off the wagon this week, so I'm getting on the Dolphin the Dolphin train.
So you saying the Bills gonna be 0-2?
Yep, it's gonna be the big shocker of the season. Start the season off.
Ooh, that I didn't see that one coming. Brian, are you gonna make him long wolf this one?
He's long wolf in this one because the last time they played, the Bills won 56-26. This was just last year. So.
All right.
Herman, show them the dunce hat so they know this is what you're gonna be wearing tomorrow.
This is what I will not.
Next week.
What I will not be wearing next week.
Look, it looks like a ghost.
Doesn't it? That's
weird. you got green in the hat.
Yeah, it's green in the hat.
It looks crazy.
That's wild.
It looks crazy.
It is.
But don't worry, I won't be wearing that next week. If I do, I'll turn my green screen off, I guess, for that part of the segment.
All right. Moving on to the next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Brian, who you got in this one?
Man, I'm drinking that red Kool-Aid, man. Give me the Cardinals. Vegas the Cardinals are giving up 2.5. So it's good. They think it's gonna be a close game, but I don't. Give me the Cardinals.
That's surprising, yeah.
Yeah. On this one, man, Maury put the NFL on notice. Like I said, the Vikes couldn't stop Joe Burrow last week. I don't think they're gonna stop Murray this week. I'm taking the Cardinals. Herman?
Yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals. I'm gonna be lone wolfing on the Vikings for real. They're on the downslide right now. They're kind of falling apart, and they got a lot
defense.
of talent.
They just can't get that defense right.
Yeah.
Offensively, they played good last week, but defensively,
yeah. So, and Mike Zimmer is a defensive guy.
Yes.
So I know that's burning him alive right now.
Yes.
So I'm definitely going with the Cardinals on this one, and they're at home.
Yeah.
Marcus, who you got?
I think it's much like you said, Mark. I'm drinking that red Kool-Aid. I'm going with the Cardinals. They look hella good against the Titans, and I damn sure don't think the Minnesota Vikings are anywhere near as good as the Titans. So I'm going with the Cardinals.
All right. Next game, we got the Tennessee Titans going up to Seattle, take on the Seahawks. Herman, who you got in this one?
Man, I'm so disappointed in the Titans, the way they got beat. And it's going to be hard to see them go 0-2, but they're going 0-2 because not only are they playing Seattle, who's good, they got to go to Seattle, and fans are back in the stadium. It's a wrap.
And Russ is cooking.
Yep, I got Seattle in this one. It's a wrap.
Marcus, who you got?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this because, like I said, I was so high on the Titans. I'm still high on the Titans, but they're going 0-2. I'm taking the Seahawks for all the reasons Herman said.
Ooh, okay. I think Derrick Henry get back to bless you.
Thank you.
You get to get back to running the ball and being Derrick Henry. I'm taking the Titans in this one. Brian, will there be a lone wolf on this game?
There's absolutely a lone wolf. You lost your mind. Ain't no way, man. The Titans are dysfunctional. They're already arguing amongst themselves, and Russ is on a mission.
Slow down now. They're not falling apart yet.
They
Relax.
fall
When they said all that.
apart. It's over.
Relax.
Mark, can you show them the Dunce hat so that you'll be wearing it next week too?
It's sitting there right back there.
So you know what's crazy is I think most of us picked this team to be last in that division.
We did.
They're the only one to win in the AFC South was the Texans. Were the only ones to win.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. All right. Next game we got is the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Marcus, who you got in this one?
Once again, I hate to say it, but the Ravens are going to go 0-2. Still going to make the playoffs, but they're going to go 0-2. I'm picking the Chiefs.
Brian, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm with Marcus. Chiefs all the way.
Herman?
Chiefs, baby. I'm not picking against the Chiefs. It's going to be a good one.
I think it's going to be a good one.
Nah, their defense will keep them in it for a little bit. But yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs.
So you think that the Raiders' offense is as good as the Chiefs' offense?
It can.
No.
I mean, not good, but the Chiefs defense, they don't like to start playing until like third or fourth quarter.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what's going to keep them in. The Chiefs defense is going to. I mean, really, the Ravens' offense is Waller. I don't even know why.
No.
Yeah, the Raiders. Yeah,
the Raiders.
Right.
The Raiders. Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
You can't stop them.
And look, and the Chiefs got the best tight end in the game.
Yeah.
So what is he going to do?
Yeah.
It'll be a close game because of the Chiefs' defense. They don't like to play into the fourth quarter, so that's why it'll be a close game.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, this one is a tough choice, but I kind of got a gut feeling about this one. And I think I'm along with this one, y'all. I think the Ravens are going to win this game, man.
That dude is going to have that dunce hat on for 2 segments.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Wait a minute, this is my first Lone Wolf.
No, it ain't. You just last one.
The Titans.
Okay, I guess I will be doing it twice, huh? Wearing the professor hat, the smart hat. Anyway,
so.
the next game we got is the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions. Bite them off at the knees, y'all. On this one, I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers, man. I think Aaron Rodgers come back to life. He comes back to life and brings some life back into the Green Bay team. Herman, can you tell us your prediction before you fall asleep?
Look, man, it's been a long day at work. Okay, I'm going with the Packers. I am never going to pick Detroit probably this year if we ever pick them again. First of all, because that coach, man. Yeah, it's a Monday night game. Because I looked at it like, why are we picking the Lions? I was like, oh yeah, I'm going with the Packers. Relax. Just Just relax.
Marcus.
Yeah, I'm going to Packers as well. What happened this past week is not going to happen 2 times in a row. I think, matter of fact, I think it's going to reverse this time. I think the Packers going to be way up, blow the Lions out, and Rodgers is going to redeem himself this week. I'm going with the Packers.
And Brian.
All contraire, mon frère. Did
you
y'all see what the Lions did?
You a damn lie.
Against the
You a
San Francisco
damn
49ers
lie.
last week.
He's not picking
They
on
almost
You
came
a
back
lie.
and won that game, and they were down double digits.
You a lie.
That Detroit Lions team got some grit, got some gusto.
I don't
but
believe it.
They're going home with that L.
I knew he wasn't gonna take him either. I knew it. That's all right, fellas. I think we went a little bit over our normal time, but
We
it's
had a
been
lot to
fun.
talk about, and we had some
it's-
technical
it's been-
difficulties.
It's been good. We're gonna end it with the final thoughts for the week. I'm gonna start us off. I thought that I enjoyed the first week of football. I did enjoy that the new replay rule. It took a lot of the game ending controversy out of it. Like teams didn't lose because of a bad play this particular week, and I think that's a good start.
Oh, that Bucks game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you sure about that?
But I like what they have in place as far as the new replay rule, and I think it's working fine. So that's my thought of the week. Herman, what do you have your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that and absolutely agree with you, because the actual incident with the coach shoving thing, New York had to call down and have them review that, because they were kicking out the coach, right? Well, they weren't kicking him out, but they put a 15-yard penalty on the Kansas City bench. Originally, that was the call, until New York said, "Hey, you might want to fix that." So
there was another call in one of the games too, where I think he fumbled the ball, and they thought that the defensive player had actually got it, but he actually gained position where he was out of bounds.
Yeah,
and he
That was
overruled
another one too,
the ref on the field, so it was the right call.
Yeah. So, my final thought is the NFL's, they get it wrong, but they're trying to make it better. And that's why we love football. Football's back, baby.
Brian?
Yeah, my final thought is on the same lines to the point, but I just want, more health and happiness and teams staying together, less injuries for the season. It's always terrible when you watch that player, get carted off or, has a season-ending injury so early in the season. So, just prayers that the players, make it through the game safely and we get to see them throughout the season.
Cool. Marcus, take us away.
My final thoughts is I'm definitely glad football is back. However, all these people that go into the stadiums not wearing masks, if you're trying to get things shut down real quick, because I do believe that sporting events are probably the biggest spreaders of the virus. You probably should be wearing masks so we can keep this thing going. So that's my final thought. Let's go to the games, enjoy yourself if you must. But wear a mask and as much as you possible. You probably can't do much social distance, but as much as possible, social distance. Which leads me to ask Brian: did you and the Fit Beetle, did y'all wear masks in the state?
We did wear masks. We didn't wear masks the whole time. We wore masks when we were walking in the area. When we were sitting in the stadiums, we weren't wearing masks. We were eating and drinking, but we probably should have because it was very packed. It was a close proximity. So.
But before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching us on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook on our Facebook group, Delay of Game. We're on Twitter at Delay of Game 3, and we're also on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.